Hey BoLS fans, AdamHarry here with another BoLS Retro Corner review. This time I have another Realm of Chaos book, The Lost and the Damned. This is the book that covers the Nurgle and Tzeench stuff in both 40k and fantasy circa 1989-1990. Fun stuff all around. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open and check out some of the fun stuff I found inside. Alright, so one of the first things I want to note about this book versus the other one that we did, the Slaves of Darkness review, this book has a bit more history, more in-depth kind of stuff. This goes over one of the battles, the Siege of Prague. But again, this book also covers 40k and fantasy. Kind of goes through all the fun stuff. The majority of it is black and white, again, technology back then. It still has some pretty sweet artwork, if I do say so myself. But what I wanted to point out here first was the awesome colors again. Check that out. Good job, Heavy Metal team from the past. Still like your stuff, even though it looks a little cartoony now. Back in the day, it was mind-blowing. But first up, I want to show off just some of the history that's in this book. This is the history of the Eye of Terror, as you can see here. Demon worlds, demon battles. They were not happy in the warp. They like to get. That's why they went out. Wouldn't you want to get out? I would. This section is probably the most ground-shattering section in the entire book. This is the section that talks about the Emperor being bored. And I'm just going to read this little excerpt here with me, so bear with me. The Emperor is born. Of the birth and early life of the Emperor, we shall say only a little, for space does not permit us to examine every detail of a lifetime spanning almost 50,000 years. His mother and father were human, his brothers and sisters mortal like any other. So when he was born, his parents had no reason to think of him as anything other than a normal human child. Only much later would he identify the time of his birth as the 8th millennium BC, or the place as central Anatolia. And by then, he would have almost forgotten his early life among the barren mountains and cold streams. They come right out and say it. He had brothers and sisters. He was born in the 8th century. Holy crap. So the history of the Emperor is in a tome of chaos. Who would have thunk it? Oh man, here we have a little piece of history. I think we've all seen this picture before. Horus on the left, the Emperor on the right, a broken Sanguinius in the middle there. This is the battle on the ship, the battle that determined the fate of Terra. This is the original picture. This was drawn by Adrian Smith. His name's right there in the corner. So Adrian, thank you for the inspiration, the awesomeness of this picture. It's been redone in diorama form countless times, at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. This picture encapsulates the entire Horus heresy. And it's in this book, so just a cool piece of awesome that I definitely wanted to show off to everybody at home. What do we have here? The story of the Star Child. That's right, folks. They just come right and say it. The Emperor's dead. In the old fluff, they weren't really sure what the Golden Throne did, but here you have the story of the Star Child. The Emperor is actually dead, and him flying off into the warp, being awesome. It goes through Sensei, the Chaos Defeat, all that fun stuff, the living death that is the Emperor as he walks, and the Star Child, which Necrons, retcons, whatever. So it's just, like I said, this book is chock full of really, really awesome fluff and background history. This is just something I want to point out here. It's the demonic battlefield reward chart. GW loved their charts back in the day. This is a D6, or it's actually D6 and like D4-ish, I believe, but whatever. Point is, GW love their charts. I mean, you look at the 7th edition stuff that just came out. You thought that was a big chart. It's not something it's not something they haven't done before. Is all I'm trying to say. So again, cool artwork, more cool stuff. Flip over to this page that I have marked. Chaos Tzeench Renegades. This book actually came with both the Renegades for Tzeench and Nurgle, and the champions therein, and all that fun stuff. So it was an actual army list that you could pull from for both fantasy and 40k, and you got a ton of info for both Tzeench and Nurgle. So it was a combo book. It's just really good stuff overall. So I do want to point out one last thing. We like to complain about the Allies chart from 6th and the new one in 7th. It's not something that's new. From the beginning, we have Orc Freebooter Mob and Chaos Squats as allies for both factions in this book. So again, Orc allies not something that's new to the game. This is cool stuff. I'm excited. This kind of reinvigorates me for 7th, knowing that, check this out, we've got cool allies and stuff like that to play around with. So if you want to do something fluffy, check it out, Orc Freebooters. Chaos Squads. Anyway, that's my review of this Retro Corner review of an awesome piece of history here, the Realm of Chaos, Lost in the Dam. Again, this is AdamHarry for BoLS signing off. Have a good one.